I never thought I would say these words, not because they weren't true, but because I was afraid they were. Why love? You have time for everyone, not for me. I typed it once, deleted it, typed it again, deleted it again. Because admitting you feel ignored by the person you love feels like losing before the fight even begins. At the beginning, everything felt effortless. You replied fast. You called without reason. You asked about my day like it actually mattered. I felt chosen, not convenient, not temporary, chosen, but slowly things changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just quietly. You started saying, I'm busy. You started replying hours later. You started laughing with others online while my message stayed unseen. And the worst part, you still said you loved me. I tried to be understanding. I told myself, people get busy. Life happens. Don't overthink. But overthinking doesn't need permission. It grows in silence. I began noticing patterns. You had time for friends, time for family gatherings, time for social media stories, time for late night chats in group calls. But when it came to me, sorry, I was tired. Sorry, I forgot. Sorry, tomorrow became a habit and I became an option. One night I waited not for a long call, not for a romantic paragraph, just for a simple eat. The clock moved, my screen stayed dark, but your status showed you were online, active, available, just not for me. That's when the question finally broke out of my heart. Why love if I'm the only one making time? I didn't want attention. I wanted effort. There's a difference. Attention is loud, effort is intentional. You see, when someone matters, you don't find time, you create it. Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's one honest message, even if it's just I'm exhausted, but I didn't want you to sleep, feeling ignored. That's love. I remember the day I finally said it. Why do you have time for everyone, but not for me? You were quiet, and silence sometimes answers more than words. You said you're overthinking. Maybe I was, but overthinking usually starts where reassurance ends. I didn't need gifts. I didn't need public posts. I didn't need promises about forever. I needed consistency because love without consistency feels like emotional hunger. You're fed sometimes, starved most times, told to be grateful. Anyway, here's the part I'm confessing. I stayed even when I felt secondary, even when I felt like I was asking for too much, even when I told myself, don't complain, at least they still talk to you. That's the dangerous part. When bare minimum starts feeling like a blessing. One evening, I stopped texting first just to see what would happen. Hours passed, then a day, then two. Finally, you texted, "Are you upset?" I smiled painfully because I wasn't upset. I was tired, tired of competing with everything else in your life, tired of pretending I was okay, tired of feeling like I had to earn the attention of someone who once gave it freely. Here's the truth I learned as time for everyone except you. It's not about time, it's about priority. And love without priority feels like standing in a crowd where your voice doesn't reach the one person you want to hear you. I still love you. That's the hardest part. Love doesn't disappear just because effort does. But I've learned something. If I have to beg for time, then maybe I'm loving someone who doesn't fear losing me. And that realization hurts more than being ignored because love should never feel like a competition. It should feel like home, and home doesn't close its doors when you knock. So if you're reading this and you feel the same, ask yourself honestly, are you asking for too much, or are you just asking the wrong person? Because the right person won't make you question your worth. They'll protect it, even in their busiest moments. After that message, "Are you upset?" I didn't reply immediately. For the first time, I let you wait, not to play games, not to teach you a lesson, but to understand my own heart. I realized something painful. I wasn't angry because you were busy, hurt because I wasn't important enough to interrupt your busy. There's a difference. When someone truly values you, they don't disappear for days and call it normal. They don't make you feel dramatic for needing connection. They don't treat your silence like attitude when it's actually exhaustion. You started acting extra sweet after noticing my distance, more text, more emojis, more "I miss you," but something felt different. It felt reactive, not real, like you were afraid of losing attention, not afraid of losing me. And that's when my heart became quiet, not cold, just tired. One night you called and said, "Why are you changing?" I wanted to say so much. I wanted to tell you how many nights I waited, how many times I stared at your online status, how many excuses I made for you in front of my own feelings. But instead, I said something simple: "I'm not changing, I'm just matching your effort." Silence, heavy silence. because deep down you knew love should feel safe, not competitive, not confusing, not like you're always calculating who texted last or who called more. I used to think patience proves love, but now I know self respect also proves maturity. I stopped chasing, stopped explaining my hurt again and again, stopped begging for basic care, and something unexpected happened. I started feeling lighter. Yes, I still loved you, but I loved myself enough to stop accepting emotional leftovers. One evening you said you're distant. I answered honestly. I was only loud because I cared. Now I'm quiet because I'm protecting myself. That wasn't attitude, that was survival. Here's my confession. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I stepped back because loving you started hurting me. There's a moment in every one sided love where you realize you're fighting alone, and no matter how strong you are, love cannot survive on one person's effort. I don't hate you. I don't even blame you completely. You loved me in your own way, but your way made me feel small, and love should never shrink someone, it should expand them. Today, I still remember you sometimes, not with anger, not with desperation, but with a quiet understanding. If someone has time for everyone except you, you were never asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong heart. And the day I stopped asking was the day I started healing, and I was listening like it was the most important story ever told. That's when it hit me. Your happiness mattered to me more than my own mood. That scared me because deep love is risky. When you love someone deeply, you give them the power to hurt you. And I am not someone who easily gives that power. But with you, it happened naturally. Baby, I don't just love your smile. I love the way you think, the way you overthink small things, the way you pretend you're strong even when you're tired, the way you say I'm fine when you're not. I notice it all, and that's why my love for you is deep because it's not based on how you look. It's based on who you are when no one is watching. Let me confess something honestly. There were times I doubted myself. I asked myself, am I enough for her? You are strong. You are intelligent. You are emotionally mature. And I am still learning. But every time I feel insecure, you do something small that reminds me why I felt so deeply. The way you trust me, the way you include me in your plans, the way you defend me when someone misunderstands me. You don't just love me, you choose me. And being chosen by someone you respect, that's dangerous in the best way. There was one night I couldn't sleep. You had a long day. You were stressed. You were quiet. And I felt helpless. Not because I couldn't fix your problem, but because I wished I could carry your stress for you. That's when I understood the depth of my feelings. When someone else's pain bothers you, more than your own comfort. That's deep love, baby. I am not perfect. I get jealous sometimes. I get moody sometimes. I overthink sometimes. But one thing I never do is doubt my love for you. My love for you is clear. It is intentional. It is loyal. You know what makes this VIP? It's not luxury. It's not gifts. It's not showing off. It's emotional security. I feel safe telling you my fears. I feel safe showing you my weak side. I feel safe being quiet with you. That safety is rare, and rare things are VIP. There are many beautiful people in this world, many attractive faces, many temporary connections, but none of them make my heart calm the way you do. When I imagine my future, I don't imagine success alone. I imagine you beside me, not cheering from far, but walking with me through stress, through growth, through failure, through success. Here is my biggest confession. Before you, I was scared of commitment. I liked attention. I liked being admired. But loving you changed my mindset. Now I don't want attention. I want stability. I don't want options. I want certainty, and you are my certainty. When you say my name softly, it does something to my heart I can't explain. When you get upset, my entire mood shifts. When you laugh freely, I feel like I want something priceless. That's how deep this is, baby. If someday I fail, if someday life becomes hard, if someday stress tries to change me, remind me of this version of myself, the one who looks at you and knows without confusion. I am so deeply in love with you, not because you are perfect, but because you are real. You correct me, you challenge me, you support me, you respect me, and you stay. That's what makes my love deep. It's not built on fantasy, it's built on understanding. If I ever hurt you unintentionally, forgive me. Not because I deserve forgiveness, but because my intention is always pure with you. I don't play games with your heart. I don't entertain alternatives. I don't create backups. One heart, one loyalty, one love, and that love is you. Baby, I don't just want to love you when things are easy. I want to love you when things are messy, when we argue, when we misunderstand, when life pressures us, because deep love is not tested in comfort, it is proven in chaos. So here is my VIP confession. I am not with you out of loneliness. I am not with you for temporary happiness. I am with you because my heart recognizes something rare. You are not just someone I like, you are someone I value. And when a man values a woman deeply, he protects her, he respects her, he prioritizes her. Baby, I am so deeply in love with you, and every day I choose that depth again. Not loudly, not publicly, but intentionally. And that is the kind of love that lasts, baby. If part one was my heart speaking softly, this is my heart speaking without fear. I am not just in love with you, I am emotionally attached to your existence. There is a difference. Love can be sweet, attachment can be dangerous, but what I feel for you is responsible. I don't need you to complete me. I want you to walk with me. That's deeper. There was a moment I never told you about. One day, someone tried to get close to me. Casual conversation, light attention, harmless on the surface. Old me would have entertained it for ego, but that day I felt uncomfortable, not because the person was wrong, but because my heart felt loyal. I realized something powerful. When you love someone deeply, temptation loses its shine because peace is more valuable than excitement. And you are my peace, baby. I study you in ways you don't notice. I know the tone of your I'm okay when you're not okay. I know the silence. That means you're overthinking.